All right, let's dive right in. If you're a UPSC aspirant grinding through Indian polity, or honestly, just anyone curious about what makes India tick, you've come to the right place. Today, we're zeroing in on the preamble of the Indian Constitution. It's just one page, but trust me, it's the key that unlocks the entire vision of the nation.
I love this analogy. Think of the preamble as the quick start guide for the Constitution. Before you get lost in hundreds of articles and schedules, this one page tells you what the whole thing is for. It's the philosophy, the purpose, the guiding light for the entire document. It's the why behind all the legal what. So, here's our game plan. We're breaking this down into 5 straightforward sections. We'll start with the preamble's basic blueprint, then decode the keywords that define India, explore its big goals, tackle 2 huge legal questions, and wrap up with the famous basic structure doctrine. Nice and simple. Okay, let's kick things off with Section 1, the Constitution's blueprint. In this part, we're just trying to understand what the preamble actually is and what its main building blocks are. So at its core, a preamble is just an introduction. But this one, it's more like a mission statement, and you have to know where it came from. Its DNA is from the Objectives Resolution, which was drafted by Jawaharlal Nehru. This resolution was basically the North Star for everyone in the Constituent Assembly as they were figuring out the future of a brand new free India. What I find so brilliant here is how this single paragraph breaks down into 4 crystal clear parts. First, it tells us where the power comes from. We, the people of India. It's not from a king, not from a foreign power, but from us. Second, it defines what kind of country India is going to be. Third, it lists the big goals we're trying to achieve. And finally, it stamps the date on it, November 26, 1949, which we now celebrate as Constitution Day.
Now for Section 2. Let's decode the 5 most important keywords the preamble uses to describe the Indian state. For anyone studying polity, getting the exact meaning of these 5 words is just non-negotiable.
First up, sovereign. What does that really mean? It's simple. India is its own boss. No other country, no external power can tell India what to do. We control our own destiny, both inside our borders and in our dealings with the world.
Next, socialist. Now, this word was actually added later, through the 42nd Amendment, but it's crucial. Indian socialism isn't about the state owning everything. No, it's what we call democratic socialism. The main idea is to fight for social and economic fairness, to end poverty and make sure every single person has a fair shot at success. The third key word is secular, and this one was also added by the 42nd Amendment. Now, this doesn't mean the state is against religion. Not at all. It just means the state is neutral. India has no official religion. Every faith gets equal respect, equal protection, and equal support from the state. Fourth, we have democratic. This one is the foundation of our entire system. Demos means people, and kratia means rule. It's rule by the people. It means the ultimate power is with the citizens who vote for representatives to run the show. The government works for us, not the other way around. And finally, republic. People often mix this up with democratic, but they're different. Think about the UK. It's a democracy, but not a republic, because they have a monarch. A republic is a country where the head of state is elected. In India, our president is elected for a fixed term. That's what makes us a republic. And that leads us perfectly into Section 3, the 4 great objectives. So if those keywords told us what the state is, these objectives tell us why it exists. These are the promises that the Constitution makes to every single citizen of India. And here they are, the 4 pillars holding up that promise. First, justice. Not just in court, but social and economic justice too. Second, liberty. The freedom to think what you want, say what you want, and believe what you want. Third, equality. Making sure everyone has the same status and the same opportunities. And finally, fraternity. Building a sense of brotherhood that respects every individual while keeping the nation united. Okay, for all you polity geeks, this next section is where things get really juicy. We're diving into 2 major legal battles over the preamble. This is all about how the Supreme Court's thinking has changed over the years, and it's absolutely fascinating. So here's the first big one, a question that puzzled the best legal minds for decades. Is the preamble actually part of the Constitution, or is it just a beautiful, poetic introduction with no real legal power? The answer to this changes everything. Just look at this shift. It's incredible. Back in 1960, in the Barabari Union case, the Supreme Court said, nope, the preamble is not part of the Constitution. But then, 13 years later, the legendary case of Ananda Bharati case came along, and the court did a complete 180.
They said, actually, wait a minute. The Constituent Assembly debated and voted on the preamble just like any other part. So yes, it is an integral part of the Constitution.
So of course that leads to the next logical question, right? If the preamble is a part of the Constitution, does that mean Parliament can change it? Can they use their amendment power under Article 368 and just rewrite it?
And the answer is yes, but, and this is one of the biggest buts in legal history. In that same Keshavananda Bharathi case, the Supreme Court confirmed that yes, Parliament can amend the preamble. However, they attached a massive condition to it, a condition that would basically invent a new era of constitutional law in India.
And that condition brings us to our final section, and honestly, maybe the most important concept of all, the basic structure doctrine. This was the Supreme Court's genius solution to an impossible problem. It's the ultimate shield that protects the very core of our Constitution. And here it is. The doctrine says that Parliament's power to amend is not unlimited. You can change the words, you can renovate the rooms of the Constitution, but you cannot tear down its foundation. You cannot destroy its basic structure. And where do you find that basic structure? Well, a lot of it is right there in the preamble. Ideas like sovereignty, secularism, democracy, these are fundamental principles you just can't amend away.
So if you take away one thing, let it be this. The preamble really truly is the soul of the Constitution. It's a living, breathing part of the document. You can add to it, like they did with the words socialist and secular, to clarify its meaning, but its core spirit, its soul, that's protected by the basic structure doctrine. It cannot be destroyed.
And that leaves us with a final thought to chew on. This basic structure doctrine, it's not written down anywhere. It's an idea created by the courts. And what is basic gets decided case by case. So as India continues to change and evolve, how will new challenges push and pull at our understanding of the Constitution's unchangeable soul? Now that's a question that will keep defining India for generations to come.